everyone, this is Tina from Tina's Workshop, and I've kidnapped my hubby and we are on our way to a couple of yarn stores that I have actually been wanting to visit. And since it is currently the Bay Area Yarn Crawl, I thought what better day to do it than today, and the fact that it has been a very cloudy and rainy and don't really want outside, so we are staying in our car and in the stores, and we're going to enjoy a yarny day. Our first stop was Atelier Yarns in San Rafael, and they had the cutest painting on these front windows. Their shop was so full of things. There was just a ton to look at, and I know I didn't record everything. They had these really cute little sheep bobbins. Of course, a wonderful big sticker for the window of your car. Look at the little scissors. And they had some really fun measuring tapes. Oh, these were so cute. Little hands that went onto your knitting needles. I really should have bought some of these. Here's their cute measuring tapes. They had two different sheep, and then they had a cute little sock monkey. Blanket pattern examples, pom-poms. So many colors and fibers and everything to choose from. I loved these striped patterns for socks. I was really tempted to get this. I had to control myself though and not buy everything in the shop like I really wanted to do. This was one of the bags they were selling for the yarn crawl itself, and it's the same picture that's on the bingo card that everybody was getting marked off. More pretty stripy yarn. They had a lot of stripy yarn.
We even have a bored husband chair right back there.
The men's department back there.
So, right, in the men's department.
He also... It's one of those little, I don't actually know what it's called, but you put the cake of yarn on and put it on your wrist. Blocking pins. Pretty soft, fuzzy yarns, and I love the gold ones. This one was baby camel and silk, and it was so soft. There's some really cute little cards here. Got wool. I liked how they used the knitting needle tips to keep the skeins on the wall. I saw so many yarns that had just lots and lots of colors in them. They were so pretty. Oops. My husband liked the one that was on the sample. I like these big block colors too. The store itself was so busy. There were so many people in there that there was just no way to really sit and interview anybody about the store or the different yarns that were in there. Smile!
Down right here.
Okay.
Got my name on this chair.
It says bored husband?
Dedicated husband.
That too. If you remember the coronation blanket I did a while back, it was by Sidar. I know I'm not saying that right. Anyway, it's a UK company that does yarn and patterns and stuff. So I thought it was neat to see that. They also had roving, so for a spinner, and this one was apple, what was it? Apple picking at the orchard. It was kind of a neat colorway. I always love when I find roving in the yarn stores too, since I do spin. More stripy yarn. I love the stripy yarn. I think it's really pretty. Some sock examples. See, more stripy. Hello, sheepy. So many colors, so many choices. This one I thought was an absolutely beautiful yarn. It's Haliki Laka National Park. And what made this one even that much more special is my best friend's daughter was named after her grandmother, and her middle name is Haliki Laka. And I was tempted to buy this just to make something special for her. It was a really pretty colorway. Turbo. I love this gold. This was just a really pretty tweed type of yarn. Make a pretty sweater. It would be fun to go down on a day that's not part of the yarn crawl and get to actually talk to the ladies in the shop and get a little bit more information on their shop. The sheep was so cute sitting there. Little store mascot. Those sample blankets again. It's a cute little tote. Felt tote. Lots of compartments in it. Finally getting to the other end of the store. And this is all the bulky yarns. And the more art yarns. These were really pretty kind of art yarn. This one had a bit of a shimmer in it. It was really pretty. Don't know what I would have done with it, but it's pretty. Bunny. This was up at the register, and they had the little crochet hooks for picking up stitches and lots of little stickers and bags. And this was so neat. It was a suet feeder, but it was full of wool so that the birds could come and pluck the wool for their nests. Our next stop was about a block away on the other side of the road, and it's Dharma Trading Company. and they do a lot more with dyeing yarns. They still have a very large selection of yarns, but they don't focus on that as much as they do dyeing and having the products to dye on. More stripy. Those are really pretty colors too. The room there, I think they might have done lessons in, I'm not sure. Here's more of these multicolored, lots of colors in these yarns. It's just so pretty. I think it would make really pretty socks, all those different colors. My fingers coming into the screen. I switched hands and my finger started to come down over the lens and I didn't realize it. There's white yarn hanging there for people if they're going to be dyeing their own stuff. And there's some more stripy yarn. And this is their trunk shows, I believe. Like I said, again, I didn't get the chance to really talk to anybody in the stores because there was a lot of people in there. I did get permission to record, but I didn't get the chance to interview anyone. But this was, when I looked at it, I immediately thought 80s because I am an 80s girl, but it says 90s and 2000s. And this one I loved though because it had like all those colors right in one. It was pretty. Otherwise, even though I'm an 80s girl, I'm not big into the neon and stuff like that. So not something I would have generally picked up. More of these multicolored. This was, I've been seeing a lot of this style lately. It's interesting where it almost looks like it's colored onto it instead of soaked into it, if that makes sense. You can see the white peeking through, almost like it's been painted, I guess you could say. And I know it hasn't, but I don't know how they do it. Yeah, I'm trying to throw the yarn around the store. Did it a couple times, actually. This I thought looked like stained glass. Really kind of pretty. I think without the white, if you had more color in it, it would really look like a stained glass. So if you remember the hat and cowl I did that was Bloom yarn, this is the same thing. This is the UK version. It's Hayfield instead of Bloom, but it's the exact same yarn. Looks like ocean waves. So delicate and fuzzy. Don't know exactly what I would do with it, but it just looks, I don't know, delicate and fuzzy. Dainty, dainty. Sorry I didn't have my camera turned up a little bit more. You're looking around and looking through the lens at the same time. You just don't realize all the time where you have it sitting at. I love the color of this one too. It's like a combo of the green and gold I like. Another one with lots of colors in it. I don't know how they dye the ones that have so many colors into them. I'd like to see that sometime. You know how they do the ones with speckles or just, you know, a bigger transition of color and stuff, but these ones that have so many colors would be really interesting to see that. Big thing of roving. And they had a bunch of roving here, most of which could potentially be dyed, of course. They had a Turkish spindle, and they also had another package that's a Nitty Naughty. That's the Nitty Naughty. This one I was surprised actually did have wool in it. Soft and fuzzy. And it's, am I going to focus there? There we go, 33% wool. So it's mostly nylon, but it does have 33% wool in it, and it did not look like that. I would have expected it to have just been an acrylic or nylon. This is their next room, and these are all shirts and clothing and bags and different things that you can potentially dye on. And then around the edges is all their actual dye material. And this whole section right here was for natural dyeing, which is what I'm most interested in. So I was really excited to find this section. So I'll definitely be going back down there from time to time. Beautiful shot of the Golden Gate Bridge on our way to Tiburon, going to the Knit House. Cute little street in Tiburon, and cute little storefront. So this is the Knit House. This is the third and last shop we went to. And they have just beautiful white walls. It accents the color, and I absolutely love this wall, and I want a wall like this for my backdrop in my workshop someday. And they had a ladder that slid across the wall just like in the big libraries. Totally want to get up on it and just go scooting along. They had lots of kits they had made with patterns and wool already made up. I thought this braid was fun. Just made me think of a lot of our braids of roving. Anyway, these little kits, they had a number of different staple patterns, I guess you could say, with the yarns in it. So you could just grab the kit and go. And the fibers are all lined up from in sizes. And the wall, I mean, it was just such a beautiful rainbow of color across this wall. More stripes. It's actually the same yarn company too, of the ones that were in the Atelier I was looking at. Again, one of these green ones that I love the color on. I love that spring green and that pretty gold color. The yarn just very yummy. There's the ladder. Scoots around that whole wall and the corner. And then this is in the back corner of the shop, and they have pattern samples and patterns. A little nook with the board husband chair. These were so pretty, this bundle of yarn. They tried to put colors together that, you know, went together, and then they had a number of different patterns you could choose from that you could use with these little bundles of yarn. Cute little sock pattern and other patterns that they had samples of. And this scarf was their yarn crawl pattern, and I did pick that up. Some cotton. This multicolor skein, I think, is the one they used in the base of this sweater. I think it's a really pretty sweater. I like the colors. I like the pattern. And if you pause your video, the name is here. It's a Ravelry pattern. Okay, everyone, so we have gotten home, and this is take 2 because what it would be my channel without some technical difficulties. I was recording and my microphone went dead, so I had to pull out another one and redo what I was just doing. So we had a wonderful day, even with downpours and then sun and downpour and sun, but we had a lot of fun. We went to a total of 3 shops. And this is the bingo card that they had made. Look at the cute little stork spinning and the little sheep that's knitting. They did have stickers of some of these guys. And then you got the bingo card and you had it marked when you went to different places, and that would enter you into different raffles and stuff. I didn't do it because we were only going to the 3 shops, and there's the ones that we were going to. So, but the first shop we went to was Atelier Yarns, and I got this cute little bag while I was there. I also, because my license plate holder is getting a little old, so I got this I'd Rather Be Knitting. And I also been looking, since I got my new car, I've been looking for a sticker for the back. So I got this sticker for the back of my car. And a chocolate malt. My husband made me malt. Yummy. Got a little mini, super soft, and I might use it with one that I got from another store. We will see. But I love this color. This color, one of my favorite colors is this kind of color of green. I just love it. I picked up a couple stickers. I got this little mini little yarn skein, and I showed my husband this one. It made him laugh, and I ended up getting it. So some of you might think it's funny, other people might not, but a funny little sticker. And then I picked up a crochet hook that is the needle one, so that if you're a crocheter and you don't know when you're knitting, you'll use these to pick up your stitches. I really liked it. I do not know what it's made out of, but it reminded me of the ones I have that were my great-grandmother's. So I'm not sure the material, but picked up one of those. I like it. And then I picked these up for myself and my sister-in-law. And they are little itty bitty mini scissors. Then, where did my other thing go? Like I said, this is the second time I'm recording this. So I set things down and where'd they go? Where'd it go? Oh, I heard it. There it is. Got this cute little keychain that has your needle sizes on it, a little needle gauge. I thought that was really cute to stick in your project bag. Okay, then we went over to Dharma, and I was really excited to go to Dharma because they have all the dyes and stuff like that, and they do a lot of the acid dyes and everything. And I was super excited to find that they had a lot to do with, or section, but it was still a lot to do with natural dye too. So starters, when I went in, I picked up a pair of ChiaoGus. I was needing a pair of a size 3 ChiaoGu for a project I was wanting to do. And they also had these little linoleum blocks for block printing. And I did this in high school, and I've been wanting to do something again. So I may do a video when I do this. I'm not sure. We'll see. But I picked up a little one since they had them in there, and they were not a bad price. It was $2.89 for that. So I could play around with it. Also picked up a pair of sock blockers so I can block those random socks I've been doing. But the thing I was most excited about had to do with the dyeing. I picked up some alum, and I picked up some iron mordant. And for those of you who do not know, the alum will help the dye, in a sense, penetrate and last longer in the fabrics. The iron mordant will adjust the color. So you can have, say, dandelion that gives you a yellow color, but then you add the iron mordant into it and it's going to make it like a darker yellow. So sometimes it just makes it a darker color. Sometimes it changes it quite a bit. I mean, it's different things. So, but I've been wanting to do this. I was making my own mordant. I've had issues with that mordant I was making. I broke the jar it was in, then I didn't have a lid on it, and a number of other things. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, I'm picking that up. And then the next thing I'm really excited about, and I will probably do a video when I do this, I want to compare the two. They both make a red, but they're totally different. So the first one is Madder. And a lot of people will use the Madder, but we do, or at least I do not have it readily growing near me to be able to harvest it myself and use it. So when I saw that, I thought, oh, I'll pick that up and try it. But the reddest red you can get is from Konichiyo's. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I try to. But anyway, they had Konichiyo. And for those of you who do not know, it is a little tiny beetle that lives on cactuses. And when you grind it up, it makes the reddest red dye you can get. That's for a long time. That is what any of your red dye in anything came from, was Konichiyo's. So I'm super excited to try both of these and see the differences in the reds and, you know, stuff like that. So that is what I got at Dharma. Then we went ahead and drove over to Tiburon, and we went to Knit, let's see, what was it called? Knit House. And at Knit House, I picked up, these were both on clearance. They were 50% off, and I love the colors. They're so pretty. So next to that pretty green I like, I love these kind of gold colors, but see, even that would be pretty with that, but it's a different, this one is 100% merino. I cannot remember exactly what this one is, but you will have seen it in the, I haven't edited the video yet, so I think you will have seen it in the video. Let me see if I can pull up the picture I took, because they had just a little sign in front of it that gave you the information on that one. Let's see. Right there. Okay. This is 98 yards, 70% merino, and 30% silk. And it's fingering weight. So these are merino. This is merino and silk. It does have a totally different feel to it, but I like them both. So I also got, well, I didn't need any more bags, but I can't help myself. This one was so bright and cheery, and it was like that perfect little project bag size with a little pocket. And I noticed when I got home, it's technically it says it's a lunch tote, but they were selling them in there as project bags. The one lady that works in the shop, she said she has one herself, but it's that perfect little size. And it just so happened, I didn't dropping things. Didn't think about it till I got to the car, but the little bag I got at Atelier matches, so I have the perfect combo right there. And then, sorry, timer went off. While I was there, I picked up stuff to do a project, so I have the project bag to put it in. And they had the cutest little set of baby socks that were sitting there on the counter. So of course I got to pick them up and look at them, and they were so itty bitty. And my husband's cousin is having a little boy soon, and I'm like, oh, I can make cute little baby socks. So yes, I did. I picked up some blue, which is what they used in the pattern, and it is, sorry, hubby is making cookies. Okay, this is Rowan Baby Cash Soft Merino, and 50 grams. The colorway is called Heavenly, which I thought was really kind of neat. 50. Where's my, there they are. I can't read it. 57% wool, 33% acrylic, and 10% cashmere. So they're really nice and soft. And I thought this was a really pretty blue. They had a number of different blues, and I ended up picking this one. So I'm going to make some socks with it. And this is what I was saying. I might possibly end up using some of this. I could put it on the toe, or, you know, like that, how they did the two colors here with the toe. So I could actually use a little bit of this on the toe, which would be pretty. So we'll see. I'm not positive yet, but anyway. And the needles are size 3, which is what I just picked up. But I think even with a 9, this is still going to be a little bit long, so I'll probably have to pull out. They use double points, so I probably will have to pull out some double points to do that. But because I bought the yarn, I also got the pattern. So exciting. So we only went to 3 shops. There were 21 shops that participated in this from last weekend through this weekend. And so it's much longer. Like, we do a yarn hop here locally that's usually only about 5 shops, so it's easy to get through in 2 days, but this was 21 shops. However, I will link down below Knitting Addie's YouTube, and she did actually go to all 21 shops. She has more than one video doing that, and if I remember correctly, she did all the shops in 2 days. So I will link her below. She's got great walkthroughs on every one of the shops that she went to. So otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and click like, subscribe, notify, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.